Being in Southeast Asia, Malaysia can still be considered a relatively cheap country to live in. But exactly how much would it cost you for you to take a break?
Doing a very rough calculation, you can probably have a budget-friendly 7-night stay in Kuala Lumpur for 2 people for around £300.
And this would include your accommodation, food and transport around the city. Attractions are mostly free there, however we will go over some that cost a bit later.
Food is one of the biggest love for travellers, and in Malaysia, especially in Kuala Lumpur, you can find pretty much anything.
There's food markets, street vendors, food courts, restaurants, snacks. You will be spoiled for choice, and with meals starting from just 5 ringgit, you will be eating until you explode.
We would personally recommend you tour around Little India and the Chinatown near Kuala Lumpur Central Station, as they have some amazing food there. And if you do go there, be sure to try the Syrian kebab for just 6 ringgit.
It was one of the best kebabs we've ever had. Hummus.
European and American foods like pasta, lasagna, fish and chips or burgers will cost you at start from around 10 ringgit. And if you decide to eat at a restaurant, then be expected to pay around 50 to 20 ringgit per person per meal at a minimum.
If you avoid the expensive restaurants but still treat yourself, you will be looking at around 40 to 50 ringgit per person per day. This price, however, does not include alcohol and drinks. Water is really cheap. There are water refill stations all across the city, which are like 0.2 ringgit per liter. And a bottle from the store is around 2.5 ringgit.
Alcohol, however, in Malaysia is taxed extremely high when compared with other Southeast Asian countries. For example, a bottle of beer alone will cost you between 20 and 30 ringgit. And a shot will cost you maybe a little bit cheaper, but not by much.
So if you are planning to drink while there, then just bear these prices in mind.
Malaysia's transport system is next to none. In Kuala Lumpur alone, not only is the metro system both clean, efficient and on time, but it is also very, very cheap and can get you almost everywhere.
You will be paying around 1 to 3 ringgit per journey for a short ride. But they are reasonably priced taxis if you should want to go somewhere more specific.
Also, since the government decided to build the airport over 50 kilometres away from the city centre, that's not a great idea, then you have 3 main options of getting there.
Firstly, you can pay 80 to 100 ringgit for a taxi, but this is only good if you go in a large group.
The second and most populous way to get there is to pay 55 ringgit per person for the high-speed train.
Or you can pay 10 to 15 ringgit and take the bus and go with the locals.
Although the bus journey takes almost an hour, it is far by the cheapest and best value for money. However, the bus station at both the airport and Kuala Lumpur Central is not as clearly signposted.
To make all of us bamboozled travellers take the more expensive train. But all you need to do is just ask any staff member at the airport or the station, and they'll point you in the right direction where the bus is. It most likely is in a basement or behind the wall next to you.
If you're looking to get around a later If you're looking to get around Malaysia via bus or even to neighbouring Thailand or Singapore, then you can get a return ticket from anywhere between 10 and 60 ringgit, depending on the distance.
The train is the more expensive option, going anywhere between 30 to 200 ringgit return, depending on the destination. But you can get sleeper trains to places like Bangkok that are cheaper than flying.
Speaking of flying, Kuala Lumpur Airport is one of the best airport hubs in the entire world, and you can find great deals to pretty much anywhere. Just hop on Skyscanner or Google Flights to browse your options.
For accommodation, there were some fantastic Airbnbs and hotel rooms with amazing views of the city skyline. We stayed in the Platinum Face Suites for only 1 night because that was all that we could afford, but the view from the 51st floor was spectacular. And the infinitive pool was included in the price.
The cost of this room at the time of booking was only £34 a night, and if you did want to stay there, then the link is in the description below to the specific Airbnb. You can also pick up some cheaper rooms starting at around £15 to £20 a night, which are clean and comfortable. However, when we went there, we just wanted to treat ourselves just a little bit.
If you're there for a while, you can also find some monthly rentals. Depending on your budget and room preference, you can find a monthly rental for around 250 to 300 pounds a month. Although if you do prefer a studio apartment in a more central location, then you should be prepared to pay a little bit more.
And lastly, we come to attractions. Now, Malaysia has some absolutely stunning beaches, national parks, mountaintop walks and cityscapes for you to go and wander and explore. For example, seeing Kuala Lumpur's Petronas Towers, touring around the city itself or visiting the Batu Caves are completely free.
Although if you did want to go to the Petronas Towers, it will cost you 80 ringgit each.
Some of the best architecture that you can see throughout Malaysia are built into some of their mosques and they look absolutely stunning.
Our best advice is to pick your place of wonder like Malacca, Penang Beach or one of the many national parks available to you. Pick up your camera, take some food and spend the day exploring and taking pictures.
If you know any must-see sites in Malaysia or know of a great place to get some cheap food or accommodation,
or if you have any more questions about Malaysia that we did not cover in this video, then leave them down in the comments below and we'll do our best to honor them.
Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if it helped you and you enjoyed it, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram to stay up to date.
Subscribe for more videos like this and we'll see you next time.